Live from WSLS, this is 10 News Virginia Today at 6, working for you.
A panicked parent accused of running from police after rushing his daughter to the ER.
You know, we're just trying to live our life and take care of our kids. That's the number one goal.
The plea deal providing a sense of closure.
And the drought in our area continues. We're giving you a close-up of what it actually looks like and how it impacts you.
Making progress on a real-time crime center in the Hill City.
I want to make sure everyone from our patrol officers to our detectives to our professional staff are in the same facility.
How the location of the new building will help in preventing and responding to crime. Good morning and thanks for waking up with us on this Friday morning. I am Daphne Gray. Jenna Zipton has the morning off. And get this, it is happy 1st of December as well. Feels like it too.
And we've got some Friday energy going on
yes,
in here.
We do.
So got to warm up a little bit this morning, right? Yeah, definitely December vibes out there as we're tracking a little bit of rain there out toward the west. You see that building into the Tennessee and Ohio River valleys. Right now, not much going on a local level. As we zoom in for you, you can see there's not a whole lot of rain to track for your morning commute, but I still would bring the rain gear as we see that increasing heading toward about midday. Temperatures now mostly 35 to 40 degrees. Temperatures will have the chance to rise a little bit before the rain gets in here. So it's not going to be anything wintry, just a chilly rain as we get closer to about midday. Let's map this out hour by hour for you in the Roanoke Valley. Notice today is not going to be nearly as warm as yesterday when we hit 60 degrees, but the bottom part of your screen there will show your hourly rain chances, and you see those going up after about 10 or 11 a.m. Then in time for Illuminates this evening, it looks like most of the rain will be out of here. We're going to update you on the drought, how much rain we're going to need to get rid of it versus how much rain we get. That's coming up throughout the next hour of Virginia Today.
Breaking news overnight. The temporary truce between Israel and Hamas is over. Israel carried out several airstrikes in the Gaza Strip just 30 minutes after the truce formally expired. News crews on the ground in the region say that Israel dropped leaflets over parts of southern Gaza, urging people to leave their homes, signaling the country was preparing to widen its offensive. More than 100 hostages were freed during the 7-day-long ceasefire. International leaders say that about 140 hostages remain in Gaza this morning. Of course, we will continue to follow the developments out of the Middle East this morning. We'll share updates with you all morning right here on Virginia Today and after the show on our 10 News app. 2 men are in the hospital after a shooting in Northwest Roanoke. Police believe that it happened early yesterday morning after a fight on Maryland Avenue, which is where they found the first victim. The other man was found 3 blocks away on the court, facing a criminal charge after rushing to get his sick daughter to the emergency room. Michael Morris initially faced a felony charge of eluding police and even had a state trooper pull a gun on him during the traffic stop. In a plea agreement, the charge will be amended to a traffic infraction in 6 months. In a 10 News exclusive, Alyssa Ray working for you to share the reaction from the family.
Michael Morris was in Roanoke County Court Thursday morning and pled no contest to a misdemeanor reckless driving charge. It's part of the plea deal that would defer the case and amend the charge to improper driving after a 6-month period.
It's better than the alternative. So, yeah, I'll take it.
The alternative was his initial felony charge of eluding police, stemming from an incident in December of 2022 when Michael Morris was rushing his 10-year-old daughter, Marta, to the emergency room after her pneumonia symptoms took a turn for the worst.
We obviously knew from the very beginning that Michael did nothing wrong, that he was not a felon, that he did not commit a crime in this case. And so we were pleased to see that finally the Commonwealth Attorney's Office agreed with our perspective and did not pursue the felony charge.
Morris admitted to speeding and running red lights while on the phone with 911 dispatch as Marta was turning blue in the back seat. That's when a state trooper pulled him over.
It's a relief in one sense. It's, you know, the scars are still there. There's still a lot of stress over the situation. But for the most part, you know, we're just trying to live our life and take care of our kids. That's the number one goal.
What did he do? I missed it.
We got a first-hand look at the stressful moments of the stop after a viewer sent us this video of the exchange between the state trooper, T.R. DeRocha, and Morris. The trooper seen pointing a gun at the father while his daughter and wife are still in the vehicle. Morris tells us while he had his hands behind his head, begging for help for his daughter, the trooper threatened to kill him. His attorney thinks this video and the circumstances impacted the Commonwealth's decision.
We're very pleased that after obtaining and reviewing the evidence, the Commonwealth Attorney's Office had concluded that the appropriate resolution is going to be a traffic infraction and not a criminal charge for Mr. Morris in this matter.
In Salem, Melissa Ray, 10 News, working for you. Starting today, Henry County deputies will start punishing people who have skill games in their stores and the people caught playing them. These games look similar to slot machine kiosks. A recent decision by the Virginia Supreme Court made having playing them illegal. Those who operate a skill game could face a fine of $25,000 per gambling device. People caught playing the games could be charged with a Class 3 misdemeanor for illegal gambling, which will carry up to a $500 fine. Other regions will also start enforcing the ban. Police in Lynchburg will start citing people starting January 1st. Leaders with the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office say that they're currently evaluating each instance on a case-by-case basis. And Roanoke City Police say that the department is more focused on prosecuting violent crime, so their focus will be on locations that have a history and connection to violent incidents. Lynchburg police are getting closer to opening their new headquarters. We're talking about a building they hope will serve as a real-time crime center for the Hill City, preventing crime before they even happen. Now, Lynchburg police have already seen progress with violent crime through a youth curfew, as violent crime is down 25% than last year. The eventual move to the headquarters will take police away from their downtown station, but Police Chief Ryan Zudema says that that's not a bad thing.
Is a little more centrally located, so our hope is that it'll give us a little better access to the rest of the community.
The headquarters will be 3 stories, 90,000 square feet, and will have a community room. And the latest addition includes a facility is a garden, which will honor the lives of 4 Lynchburg police officers who have been killed in the line of duty. The gag order in Donald Trump's New York civil trial is back in place. It prohibits Trump and his lawyers from commenting about the presiding judge's staff. State court officials had argued that the gag order was necessary because of the severity of the threats directed at the court clerk after Trump blasted her on social media. Happening today, Congress could kick out the New York Representative George Santos. He spoke out in defense of himself overnight. The 35-year-old congressman faces criminal campaign finance charges and has admitted to fabricating parts of his life. Santos told fellow lawmakers to take the vote if they believe what they are doing is right. Santos stands firm on his belief that he has done his best to serve and deliver on campaign promises.
Every last one of us has struggled with every little ounce of what happens within public service. I didn't come here. I can go and read about all my colleagues. I'm not going to stand here to smear them. I'm not going to stand here and use the time I have to say ill things about my colleagues.
Gentlewoman yields.
A vote on his expulsion is expected to happen around 10:30 this morning. New this morning, more job opportunities in the River City. Texas Roadhouse coming to Danville, and they are bringing 200 new jobs. Construction began on Mall Drive earlier this year, and we're told that they hope is to open in late February. Anyone interested in applying can visit our website at WSLS.com. Switching gears now, man, we've been talking about this drought for weeks, but we want to give you guys a close-up of what it actually looks like, Chris.
Exactly, yeah. So we've been showing you guys this map every Thursday it comes out. This is the newest information showing that, unfortunately, most of our area is under a severe drought. Droughts will impact everything from agriculture to the water we drink. Carvin's Cove in Roanoke County, a perfect example of that. It is the main water source of drinking water for the greater Roanoke Valley, and this drought has drastically lowered the water level there. Take a look at this. This is what Carvin's Cove looks like normally when the reservoir is full. Holds nearly 6.5 billion gallons of water. You can see the boat ramp in this footage here is underwater. But if you fast forward to today, this is what it looks like. That same ramp, dry. The reservoir is almost 11 feet below full pond. Even though it may look startling, a spokesperson from the Western Virginia Water Authority tells us is actually kind of normal this time of year. She says while the water level is lower than the historic average, it's nothing to panic about yet. There is still about a year and a half's worth of water supply left, and usually rain and snow over the winter and spring will help replenish the reservoir.
However, if we went all winter and did not get any precipitation and the level continued to drop from use, pulling it out for treating drinking water and evaporation, and we got into April or May and we were still 11 feet low or more, then we would be asking our customers, we need you to start doing some voluntary conservation measures.
Now, they do have tips to conserve water at home, things like turning off the faucet when you brush your teeth, taking shorter showers, and avoiding outdoor watering. Japhanie?
Great tips right there. Time now, 6:10. Coming up, risky business behind the wheel. What more than 50% of drivers admit doing on the road. Major steps that could save the lives of infants across the country. The new solution for baby loungers and support pillows. That's new at 6:45. Plus, a slow start to the season. How soon you can hit the slopes and where.
And hoping to get a little bit of rain in here with the drought that we were just talking about. You see some of the rain building off toward the west. I'll show you when that arrives and how much we expect to accumulate between now and the end of the weekend. That's next on Virginia Today.
"52% of Virginians approve of Governor Glenn Youngkin. That's according to a poll conducted at Roanoke College by the Institute for Policy and Opinion Research. Almost 700 adults in the Commonwealth participated. 63% say that they somewhat closely followed the General Assembly elections last month. However, only 32% say that those elections will make a difference in the state's capital. We spoke with senior political analyst Brian Parsons about the poll.
I think it's really important for Virginians to know what their fellow Virginians, their neighbors, folks in their community and in the Commonwealth think about some of the most important issues of the day. It's an important part of being a citizen in a democracy.
When asked about a hypothetical matchup between Trump and Biden in 2024, according to this particular poll, Biden leads by about 4 points. But across the nation, some polls show Trump leading Biden. Governor Youngkin spoke at the University of Virginia this week about the importance of free speech on college campuses. Youngkin says that it's important to address critical issues from multiple perspectives, but says that it is not always the case in our society. And if that does not change, neither will many of the issues that divide us.
You aren't actively promoting diverse perspectives, then we won't get to a point where we are able to embrace freedom of expression.
If you bring together people who have different perspectives on things, through the act of talking to one another and learning the other perspective, you can actually come to a better solution overall.
Youngkin says that this set of ideas is bigger than an academic discussion. Snowmaking is underway at Wintergreen Resort, but despite the snow blowing everywhere, Wintergreen says it is still not 100% ready for skiers and snowboarders. With a warm start to the season, Wintergreen says that it is ready for the colder weather and will take advantage of every snowmaking opportunity.
Unfortunately, they're not magic machines. Some people believe that we can make snow when it's 45 degrees outside, but realistically, it has to be very close to that freezing point of 32 degrees.
Elwood says that they're open for tubing this weekend, but skiers and snowboarders will have to wait a couple more weeks for more snow on the slopes.
The 10 News Weather Authority, always watching and tracking for you from the JES Weather Center.
And today starts December, not really checking out any kind of snow just yet. In fact, you see mostly rain building out toward the west throughout the Tennessee River Valley and the Ohio River Valley. But what I'll do here is we'll zoom in to a local view, and you'll notice there's really not much to be concerned with. A lot of this precipitation that you see heading into Grayson County likely evaporating. What has to happen is the lower levels of the atmosphere have to moisten up. It's been really dry here these past few days. So the morning commute looks to be in good shape. You're going to need the jacket pretty much from start to finish today. You'll need the rain gear after about 9 or 10 a.m. That's when we start from Tennessee to Kentucky. But it's after 9 or 10 a.m. that a scattering of light rain showers moves through. By 3 or 4 p.m., it's out of here, so evening plans look to be good to go. This front, though, is going to stall out, and what's going to happen is another storm system will ride along that from the south. It's going to take time for that to happen, though, so I do think we see some rain pushing in from Saturday evening into Sunday morning. So the weekend's not a complete waste for your plans. It's actually kind of mild out there, today being the exception. Today's going to be cool. Saturday, Sunday, high temperatures about 58 to 64 degrees, so there'll actually be some enjoyable weather to get any decorations done if you've yet to do that. But we still need rain. We need about 3 to 6 inches of rain within a month to cure the drought. This is what we get, about 1/10 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. So that's really not much, but we'll take anything we can get. Once this storm system starts to move off toward the east, you'll lose the moisture with it, and it's not like we've got a ton to deal with to begin with. But as it goes farther to the east, here's the transition we go through. We're on the back side of this thing, pulling in colder air, seeing some gustier wind, and some snow showers on the west-facing slopes. That's really about it. But speaking of snow showers, that's what we're forecasting in our winter outlook. If you've yet to catch it, you can see it on December the 6th at 10 p.m. and any time now on WSLS.com. The rest of the month, though, to give you a little bit of a hint, the left-hand side of your screen, odds of warmer than average weather throughout December, according to the Climate Prediction Center, but the storm track gradually turning more active. That's probably not going to happen in the first week of the month, but I would expect later in the month that things may start to pick up. All right, Roanoke Valley, there you have it. The weekend trending mild, highs about 5 to 10 degrees above average, but it's back to reality Monday and Tuesday. Highs low to mid 50s. Highs only in the 40s next Wednesday, and as you can see, rain chances beyond the weekend, they're pretty limited. Lynchburg, good news is Conference USA Championship game at Liberty this evening. The weather's going to cooperate. We'll see some showers before then. We'll see some showers late Saturday into early Sunday. And then beyond that, the rain chances are limited. The cold, not so much. Temperatures dropping with each day. Highs next Wednesday having a hard time getting out of the 40s, then 20s first thing next Thursday morning. 6:19, let's keep it in and around Lynchburg for time saver traffic.
Still doing good, man. Crash free. 29, looking good, man. If you're in the northbound lane on Rustburg to Lynchburg, 17 minutes on your commute, 21 minutes on your commute on the southbound lane from Amherst to Lynchburg.
Good morning, everybody. The Conference USA Championship game is on deck tonight in Lynchburg. 12-0 Liberty hosting a New Mexico State squad they defeated back in Week 2, 33-17. The two teams are a lot different now. The Aggies have reeled off 8 straight wins to reach 10-3 on the season. One of those wins, a victory in the SEC at Auburn, shocking the former Liberty coach Hugh Freeze and the Tigers. Liberty, meanwhile, has rolled through a perfect 12-0 season. The Flames are setting program records at every turn. First season in a conference. They're undefeated for the first time in program history, and they're getting to host the title tilt.
This is a very supportive community and school. So just this university, I know this is just bigger than football and bigger than just this year. This goes on many years, and pretty sure there's a lot more people probably way more excited than we are to be hosting this game.
You know, it's a special time, obviously coming off the season that we've had, to be able to host it. You know, that doesn't happen often, and so we're thankful for that. But also it's more, you know, as a coach, you're just thinking about getting your team ready to try to play their best. We're going to need to play our best if we're going to have a chance to win.
And the kick set for 7 p.m. tonight from Williams Stadium. That's all of it. John Epicello, 10 Sports.
Still ahead, supporting one of their own, the fire department family going above and beyond for a member of their squad and how you can join in. Plus, 2023 wrapping up, a look at the year's top artists and who Chris and I can't stop listening to. Look at your screen, this cute little dude. Memphis Zoo sharing some good news. It was announced that a newly hatched African black-footed penguin, they're endangered, so this little guy is pretty special. His name is Elrond, as a nod to the Lord of the Rings. And his parents are Pippin and Betty. Keepers say that they're taking good care of him. Anytime I see a penguin, I think of, you don't have to be. It's like a song off of Happy Feet. So look at him with little rolls.
Yeah.
It's like
I didn't notice that at first. Yeah.
He's like a little nugget over there. He's cute though.
Cute little guy.
So long story short, Taylor Swift is the man.
Yeah, when it comes to Spotify's playlist there, the global artist of 2023 is Taylor Swift with more than 26 billion with a B streams since January 1st. That's insane. Reggaeton superstar Bad Bunny took second place, followed by The Weeknd and Drake. As for the top song, Miley Cyrus's record-breaking Flowers took the top spot with more than 1.6 billion global streams.
Users can now see that their own personal metrics on Spotify's mobile and desktop platforms. It breaks down your top artists, albums, songs, and podcasts. So what were some of the artists that made up your list, Chris?
So Sleep Token is one of the up-and-coming bands. Their monthly listeners went up crazy this year.
Okay.
Dream Theater is a progressive metal band. It's all nerdy stuff.
Oh,
for
it's not
sure.
nerdy.
But you know you're getting old when you're like, who's Bad Bunny? Right?
No, I'm familiar with Bad Bunny, especially from San Antonio. But for me, I'm like, because most of the time I listen to Spotify, I'm on vacation with Brittany and our producer Rebecca, so it's all country. Morgan Wallen, got Carrie Underwood, all that good stuff.
Nice.
But again, Pandora, all Motown, Michael Jackson, Prince, you name it.
Nice. So yours is a lot more diverse than mine. Mine is just like, hey, you listen to rock, and that's it. You know, so it's cool. Yeah, but there's tons of great artists out there.
Definitely.
All right, let's get out the door this morning in the Highlands, where we start out dry and chilly. Temperatures in the 40s this afternoon with some chilly rain from time to time. It's not going to amount to much, but we could use every little bit we can get. Look at that. 3/4 of the state in a drought, nearly half of the state in a severe drought, and a lot of that is in our area. I'm going to show you how much rain we need to get to cure the drought, how much rain we do get, and then what it looks like beyond the extended forecast. A lot coming your way in the next half hour of Virginia Today, and we hope you stick with us.
Time now, 6:27, making the streets even safer. The shocking numbers that show how dangerous distracted driving can be. And a crackdown on what the Commonwealth calls illegal gambling, the popular gas station games, and where you could get charged for playing them this morning. A chance to win up to $500, though. The Virginia organization is hosting a contest to promote safe driving.
This is 10 News Virginia Today at 6, working for you.
Breaking overnight, Israel and Hamas at war again this morning. The message the Israeli military is sending those left in southern Gaza. Multiple arrests made after what police call a gun battle in Covington. Community members on edge after violence strikes their neighborhood. Raising money for a family facing a devastating reality. The community stepping up and how you can join them. Good morning, and thanks for waking up with us on this Friday. I am Daphne Gray. Jenna Zimpton has the morning off. If you're getting out and about for work, make sure you carry that jacket with you. We got meteorologist Chris Michaels joining us. Of course, again, cold temperatures, but it's not anything surprising.
No, we're not breaking records or anything. It's December. It's one of the Burr months, so that's what you expect is for things to be a little cold out there. Temperatures low to mid-30s. And as you're grabbing the jacket, grab the umbrella, too. You may need it from time to time late this morning into the afternoon. What radar is showing right now is evaporating before hitting the surface, so nothing for the morning commute. In fact, increasing clouds, temperatures mostly between about 49 and 52. That's all you'll manage in Southside this afternoon. So we see a few showers late morning into the afternoon, and then we put the caution light on the weekend, but notice it's not a red light. I'm not telling you to cancel plans. Just keep checking back with our app, and you'll notice some rain showers Saturday evening and then some scattered activity heading into Sunday afternoon. Outside of that, it's actually going to be mild. Southside high temperatures reaching 60 or above through Sunday and even into Monday. But beyond that, cooling back down, feeling more like December with highs 50 to 55 degrees.
Breaking news overnight, the temporary truce between Israel and Hamas is over. Israel carried out several airstrikes in the Gaza Strip just 30 minutes after the truce formally expired. News crews on the ground in the region say that Israel dropped leaflets over parts of southern Gaza, urging people to leave their homes, signaling the country was preparing to widen its offensive. More than 100 hostages were freed during the 7-day-long ceasefire. International leaders say that about 140 hostages remain in Gaza this morning. We will continue to follow the developments of this out of the Middle East this morning as world leaders try to renegotiate a ceasefire. We'll share updates all morning long right here on Virginia Today and after the show on our 10 News app. A growing concern about crime in Covington. Neighbors tell us that they're on edge after a gun battle left 4 people behind bars. That's what police are calling a shooting that happened last month on East Prospect Street. It's believed that an argument led to the violence. Now take a look at your screen right now. 27-year-old Intel Allen is one of these people. He was hurt during the incident, along with 3 others. They're facing felony charges. Police say that there could be more arrests in the future. Fresh off a busy holiday travel period, there's new data out when it comes to safety on the nation's roadways. A new survey from AAA finds more than half of drivers admitting to dangerous activities on the road. Tom Costello breaks down what people are admitting to doing behind the wheel.
For drivers out here, things can go catastrophically wrong in a matter of seconds. And this morning, new figures suggest we have a long road to travel when it comes to making the streets even safer, with more than half of all drivers in a new AAA survey admitting they engage in bad behavior behind the wheel.
It's unfortunate because I think that we do things behind the wheel of our car that we wouldn't do in line at a grocery store, and lives are at stake when we're on the road.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says more than 19,000 people have been killed on the nation's roads just in the first half of this year. An alarming rate despite improvements over the last year and a half. And the most recent data shows speed contributes to about a third of traffic fatalities.
Speed is the biggest factor that we see that leads to crashes. When you throw in a lot of folks behind the wheel distracted, whether it's with other passengers in the car or a cell phone, that's really a combination that's going to lead to some bad things and some careless things happening.
Pennsylvania State Police say troopers issued more than 10,000 speeding citations over the recent Thanksgiving travel period. That's up 14% from the year before. While in Maryland,
Whiskey 10, I got hit. I need fire rescue.
A Montgomery County police officer had to have both legs amputated after authorities say a teenager allegedly doing donuts and driving twice the speed limit intentionally hit the officer when he tried to stop him. AAA says while speeding is the most common behavior drivers admit to, About a third also say they've driven distracted or aggressively.
These are behaviors that most people wouldn't admit to a friend or a neighbor, but were willing to admit in this anonymous survey, which means that they're almost certainly underestimates of really risky, dangerous, potentially life-altering behaviors.
Virginia teens have the chance to win a cash prize of $500. All they have to do is create a safe driving holiday song, poem, or tune. The contest is sponsored by several organizations, including Youth of Virginia, Speak Out About Traffic Safety, State Police, and the Department of Motor Vehicles. The organization says seatbelts and speeding has been the top risk factors for teens this year.
Get teens to get creative with their messaging and, encouraging their friends to buckle up, to slow down, to not drive distracted during the holidays, and to make it what we say, make it to the table at, Christmas. Be there, in 2024.
Jingle entries should be no longer than 30 seconds. Submissions are due December 7th, so get on it. Now to a follow-up to a touching story that we first brought you earlier this week. Of course, you can now buy a shirt to support a Christiansburg firefighter diagnosed with cancer. The Christiansburg Fire Department is selling shirts to help raise money for Jeremy Compton's family. Compton was diagnosed with cancer 3 years ago, and he recently found out it's terminal. On Tuesday, his fellow firefighters gathered around to shave their heads during what they called a haircut party. If you would like to support the Compton family, we have a link to buy a shirt on our website, as well as behind-the-scenes look at the crew members getting their heads shaved. I believe that, many people who watched the story got choked up when it aired first, not only at the reality of Compton's story, but the fact that people gathered together to make sure his family is going to continue to be supported.
And when you hear something like that, you sit there and think, all right, well, what can I do? Well, there's plenty of things you can do. So if you're looking to help, that's where you should go. 6:37 this morning. Let's keep you in the New River Valley, where things look clear now from the Virginia Tech Skycam. Give it a few hours and we'll see more clouds, and we'll see some rain showers on that camera as well. I'm thinking after 9 or 10 a.m. for the New River Valley. That's when you see scattered showers coming in. After 2 p.m., that's when they're mainly moving out. But more clouds and a northeast breeze. That'll keep things cooler. Highs only 45 to 50 this afternoon.
Plowing into action when the first flake falls, the new tool helping VDOT crews this winter. In the season of giving, the local program that's making a difference for seniors in need. Some seniors in the New River Valley may have a happier holiday this season thanks to the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army provides gifts to thousands of kids every year through their Angel Tree program. And while there is a need to provide for children, there's also an often forgotten group of people. Corps Administrator for the Salvation Army, Bailey Lynn, says that while this program is throughout the region, the New River Valley is the only one extending the program to seniors in need.
From what I can see, we're kind of the only people who do seniors here. We see it's a need, and so we want to try to find the people if they can't find us.
Lynn says the Angel Tree tags for both seniors and children can be found throughout the NRV at your local Walmart. This is something that I think is a great initiative because, again, you're right. You think about kids and Christmas, but you forget about those grandparents and grandmas, grandfathers, and, you know, it's cool to be able to give them something, too.
You see it through things like this. You see it through things like 30 Days of Hope, that everybody, the best gift you can give someone is just thinking of them, you know? So I think it's a great thing. Good to see that happening in the NRV. Let's take you from the New River Valley to the Lynchburg area, where today's a big deal. Liberty University hosting the Conference USA Championship in football. Kickoff temperature 46, fourth quarter temp. Not much different. You'll need the jacket. You probably won't need the rain gear for the game, but you will need it at times between today and Sunday. We're going to time that out using the latest data from Future Tracker and showing you if there's any relief in sight to the ongoing drought. All of that's coming your way in just 5 minutes right here on 10 News.
A redesign of a popular baby product. What safety regulators say needs to change before any more are sold. New this morning, after years of concerns about an infant loungers and support pillows, federal safety regulators now want them redesigned. They're proposing a major redesign of the products following the death of 79 infants using them from 2010 to 2022. The changes will require manufacturers to make the items firmer, flatter, and thinner to prevent suffocation. Design changes could start as soon as February. When winter roads turn scary, you want to know someone's there. VDOT crews say that they have a new tool to help out this season.
once it starts.
That's the sound of VDOT's new ice brine machine. They got a few of them last year, but since it didn't snow much, they haven't put them to much use. But when it's time, they'll help VDOT produce brine quicker than ever. And it's a good thing because more snow than usual could be in the works.
Haven't had none in a while, but we're prepared for whatever comes. We'll take care of business, what we need to do.
Across the Commonwealth, $220 million are set aside for inclement weather this year. More than 2,300 VDOT crew members and more than 700,000 tons of salt. A new COVID-19 variant called HV1 is now the dominant strain in the U.S. It accounts for nearly 1/3 of cases nationwide. The CDC shows COVID-19 hospital admissions and emergency department visits are also on the rise again. Nearly 16% of adults and just over 6% of children have gotten the new COVID-19 vaccine. Doctors say that the more people who get vaccinated, the better. And when it comes to the RSV vaccine, nearly 15% of adults ages 60 and up have received it. Hospitals in northern China appear to be overwhelmed with sick children as the country grapples with a surge in respiratory illnesses and clusters of pneumonia. The World Health Organization says that they have not detected new or unusual pathogens, and the rise is likely a combination of known and common respiratory viruses. Some doctors are worried as hospitals in Ohio are reporting an unusually high number of pediatric pneumonia cases. How the cases here at home compare to those overseas, that's coming up this morning on The Today Show.
The 10 News Weather Authority, always watching and tracking for you from the JES Weather Center.
6:47, happy Friday, happy December to you. All throughout the month, we're going to be showing off your holiday decorations. And we're starting out strong here from Patricia in Blacksburg. That just looks peaceful right there. Great shot to get this trend started off. And if you want to share your inner Griswold with us, you can do so through Pin It, WSLS.com/pins, or by scanning that QR code that you see there on the right-hand side of your screen. Looking forward to featuring what you guys are doing for the holidays. Meanwhile, if you plan on doing a little bit of decorating outside, today a few showers late morning into the afternoon. Most rain tomorrow is later. Any kind of rain Sunday, pretty scattered. So we'll give you the yellow caution light, but we're not saying to stop all outdoor activities this weekend. Here's 8 o'clock this morning. Notice most of the rain is still out toward the west. We'll stop the tape around midday. So no, the windshield wipers may not be going this morning during the commute, but by lunchtime, you may need to factor in the rain gear. Notice most of this is pretty light, too. Heading deeper into the afternoon and into the evening, looks like things will be mostly dry. Good news for Illuminites, good news for Dickens of a Christmas, good news for the Liberty game, the Conference USA Championship. Now, fast forward to tomorrow morning, we start the day out dry, but a more steady stream of moisture that you see there coming in out of the southwest is going to result in some rain showers, mainly tomorrow evening. When you look at forecast data, we're looking at these rain totals, and nothing's really popping out at the screen for you. Anywhere from about 1/10 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of rain, and we would need about 3 to 6 inches over the course of a month to get rid of the drought. We're not quite going to do that this time around, especially as this storm system starts to pass off toward the east. We're on the western and drier side of it heading into next week. We'll turn windy at times, we'll turn cooler, and any kind of snow is mostly going to be on the west-facing slopes. But that sets up a trend that we've gotten all too used to over the past few weeks, past few months. You look at the next all across the southern and eastern U.S. For the New River Valley today, dry at times, but I would expect most of your showers to come in after 9 or 10 a.m. Despite the fact that we see more clouds and occasional showers this weekend, it's actually going to be mild. Highs upper 50s, lower 60s. Back to reality next week, especially Wednesday. That's going to be chilly as highs struggle to get out of the 30s in the New River Valley. Roanoke Valley, again, most showers out of here in time for Illuminites at Explorer Park, kicking off at about 5 p.m. We're mild this weekend in the 60s in between a few shower chances, most of those late Saturday into very early Sunday. And just like the New River Valley, we'll see temperatures gradually backing down heading into next week. 6:50, we've made it to Friday. Let's get time saver traffic out of here.
We're doing good, man. I-81 looking great northbound Christiansburg to Roanoke, 45 minutes on your commute. Just a tiny little bit of a slowdown there. Keep that in mind if that's a part of your commute. Also in the southbound line, Lexington to Roanoke, only 44 minutes on your commute. Guess what, guys? Santa just dropped in and gave us a reminder of some of the events that you need to be knowing about. Happening tonight, region's largest holiday celebration, returning to downtown Roanoke. And we're talking about the Dickens of a Christmas. The tree lighting kicks off the festivities tonight behind the City Market building at 6:20. The parade is next Friday, and the SPCA pet costume contest is on the 15th. There are also 2 new additions this year. We're talking about a silent disco, which sounds super fun, and a s'more station, along with carriage rides on select nights. Also happening tonight, the City of Salem's Christmas parade and tree lighting. The tree lighting is first at 6 p.m. Then the parade starts around 6:15. Both events take place at the Salem Public Library. The Gingerbread Festival and Salem Crafty Christmas are set for tomorrow. Now, there are so many different holiday events and parades that you and your family can check out this season. And if you're looking for ways to get in that holiday spirit, we have you covered right there on our website at WSLS.com. Time now 6:51. 5 things you need to know are next, including what's next after the end of the truce in the Middle East this morning. Here's a look at 5 things you need to know before you head out the door this morning at 6:55. Breaking news overnight, the temporary truce between Israel and Hamas is over. Israel carried out several airstrikes in the Gaza Strip just 30 minutes after the truce formally expired. News crews on the ground in the region say that Israel dropped leaflets over parts of southern Gaza, urging people to leave their homes, signaling the country was preparing to widen its offensive. Starting today, Henry County deputies will start punishing people who have skill games in their stores and the people caught playing them. These games look similar to slot machine kiosks. A recent decision by the Virginia Supreme Court made having or playing them illegal. Those who operate a skill game could face a $25,000 fine per gambling device. People caught playing the games could face a $500 fine. People living in Covington tell us that they're on edge after a gun battle left 4 people behind bars. That's what police are calling a shooting that happened last month on East Prospect Street. It's believed that an argument led to the violence. 27-year-old Intel Allen, who was hurt during the shooting, along with 3 others, are facing felony charges. Police say that there should be more arrests in the future. The Hill City is going to be crowded tonight. Liberty University will take on New Mexico State in the CUSA Football Championship at 7 p.m. It's a rematch, too. The Flames beat New Mexico earlier this season, 33-17.
An exciting time in Lynchburg. 3-degree guarantee for today is much lower than what it was yesterday. We actually hit 60 degrees and closed out the month of November with $490 heading to the Roanoke Valley Veterans Council. Money this month heading to Salvation Army. Will be cooler today thanks to more clouds and occasionally scattered rain showers. Those moving through between about 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. At that point, we'll have warmed up a little bit. Once the Liberty game is going on, Illuminite, Dickens of a Christmas, the Salem Christmas Parade. Once all that is started, it looks like we'll be mainly dry. Mild for the weekend before cooling down next week.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us on this Friday. The Today Show is next. We leave you now with a live look at Martinsville from our new College Institute Skycam. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great weekend.